I'm a big believer that a lot of times we just have to fail upwards, right? We just have to try things, see if they work for us. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they absolutely don't. Well, today we're going to talk about the things that did work. We're going to talk about those organizing products that are still around to this day after 6 years of decluttering. And we're going to start off strong with one of my absolute favorites, which is in my bathroom, and it's these bins. I've talked about them a million times. Why are they important? One of the big things that I kept noticing when I went in my bathroom was when I went in my closet, I couldn't find anything. Yes, it was there, those medicines that I was looking for, but I literally couldn't see through the chaos to find what I was looking for. By the time that I did find it, girl was stressed out. So these baskets actually eliminated something for me in the time that I didn't even know was bothering me. And that was the overwhelming colors, the overwhelming stimulants of everything being seen in my closet. And something I didn't even know at the time was that my brain was task switching when I was seeing all of these products, all of these linens out and about. I would walk into the bathroom closet, and instead of looking for the Tylenol that I needed, I would start thinking about how I am really overwhelmed with the amount of towels that are in there, or I'm really overwhelmed by all the colors that I'm seeing from all the medicine bottles. And that is exactly what these baskets that are not see-through, that have a lid, they have silenced that overwhelm. Now, what I've realized through all these years is that any place that I feel truly overwhelmed when I walk in it, often it is because either I am overstimulated by what I am seeing, there is too much stuff in there, and it's causing my brain to feel a lot of fatigue because I'm having to make so many decisions even when I don't realize that I am. And so having a basket with a lid that you can throw a label on quiets all of that chaos and allows us to easily think through, why are we here, which often is something I forget, and what do we really need to get out of this situation. Now that I've been decluttering for so long, there's a few things that I will notice whenever I walk into other people's homes, and it's kind of a sign of where they are in their decluttering or organizing life, and that is if they have a good place to put their things down in the entryway. The entryway is one of the, if not the, key points for you to start organizing if you're feeling really overwhelmed. One of the biggest, easiest things that you can start today is having a place to hang your things. Anytime that you walk into a space, if you see a bunch of things on the floor, what is your immediate thought? That there's chaos, that it's overwhelming, that there's maybe too much, or there's just nowhere to put my things down. And that's not how any of us want to walk into our homes. So when we first bought and moved in this house in September, that was one of the first things on our to-do list, was to add some hooks for our keys, for helmets, for book bags, for our coats, because I knew that this area not having any hooks was going to be a very quick and easy place for us to just start throwing things down on the ground, because our brains need that cue that it is easier to put things up than to put them down. So if you're like me and you're feeling overwhelmed in your entryway, it's probably because you haven't thought of, where am I hanging my coat? Where am I hanging my bag and my keys? And once you start to throw in some hooks where they're necessary, you're going to see that automatically it feels a lot lighter, and seeing the floor space opens up the room immensely. While we're still in the entryway, I couldn't leave without mentioning something else that is really important, and that is your shoe storage. What shoe storage are you noticing in your entryway? Are you just noticing a bunch of large baskets that may be strewn around the room and they're not functioning? I think a lot of us, including myself, have really good intentions when I was thinking about what I was going to do with my shoes, but I just wasn't using my entry area the best of its ability. So if you have my old home and you have a beautiful entryway closet, then I would highly recommend the baskets that I used to have. They were really easy to clean and really easy to hide away in that closet. But if you're like me now and you have no closet space, the best thing that I've realized to do is, of course, first, only leave out the shoes that you are using in the current season. I know in Virginia, it can be hard because we can have a super cold morning that leads to a 65 afternoon. And so, yes, we might have to have a little more than some places, but for me, having enough shoe storage means that those shoes have a place to stop and be when they come in my entryway, and so it's less likely for them to be found throughout my house. And it's just like our hooks. We want to make sure that our shoe storage is so easy. So if you're noticing that your shoes are still not being put away, even though you have these baskets or bins for them to go to, I want you to start second guessing yourself and think about, is this really the easiest solution? Now I have hidden shoe storage, which I love because I loved that same idea with my old closet, that it was hidden. I didn't have to see all the shoes, but it's really easy to put away. So my husband and my daughter have one area, I have another. So we all have enough space, enough breathing room. I love to talk about leaving 20% space for your things in drawers or closets or cabinets, and that's so that it's easier to put them away than it is to leave them out because they already have a home that is easy to access. All right, I want to say a quick thank you to today's sponsor, which has been one of my favorite brands, Ecovacs. If you've been here for a while, then you know that I have been using Ecovac vacuums for years now. And as a working mom, I don't have time for products that overpromise and underdeliver. And this is the T90 Pro Omni. This has been one of the most capable high-value robot vacuums my husband and I have tested over the years, and we've been through a lot. And what I love most is that it actually cleans. It not just pushes dirt around for me to have to pick up the piles and clean them up later. This roller, I've noticed, is longer and uses fresh water as it cleans. And so what it does is literally wash itself as it goes, which means that it's actually removing the dirt instead of just smearing it around in big long lines, because nobody wants that, especially if you've got kids, pets, or like me, you live in a zoo and we have both. It handles dust and hair in one pass, cleans right along the edges, like you can see here, guys. It actually gets the corners most robots I've found miss. And it runs quietly enough that I can work, I can take calls, and just exist in peace, and it's not bothering me. But honestly, my favorite thing to do is to say, okay, you go clean the living room, and off she goes while I go run my errands. And we're gonna talk about hair for a second because this has real pickup power. If you've seen my head and my precious dog's hair, then you know there's a lot of hair around my house. It cleans up the hair from the carpet, hardwood floors, all the lovely pet hair without getting stuck in the vacuum, and there's no babysitting from me. I love that it charges fast and adapts to my home, so I'm not constantly stopping and having to start it. It just finishes the job, which feels like a luxury in this season of my life. So with strong cleaning, low noise, and no disruption, it really does lighten my mental load. And that's why I keep partnering with Ecovacs. I do feel like for its affordability and its wide variety of functions, it is the best brand a vacuum that I have ever tried. So I could not recommend Ecovacs more. All right, so I'm gonna lead you guys into my living room now, and I want you to look at the storage that I have in my living room space because yes, it didn't start out perfect, but it is been evolving over the past couple of months. So like I said, I moved, and so I did have to get rid of some things and bring some new storage in. And I have been loving this new storage unit we just got probably 2 weeks ago. It has been working so well for us. And really it's because the storage we had before wasn't enough for all of us to have the space that we needed. And also when I'm thinking about living room storage, the place where I spend a lot of my time, my whole family spends a lot of our time, I like it to mostly be hidden, but beautiful. Those are the key words there. I don't like a lot of the cube storage. I don't like a lot of open baskets out because it easily looks cluttered, even when we're doing our best. I like to have one storage unit that is, in my taste, beautiful, but also something that I can hide that stuff away. So if you're feeling really overwhelmed in your living room with clutter or toys, things like that, for me, having a closed unit means that those things can be put away. You don't have to look at them. And if you are in a rush, you can stuff things in there if you need to when you're having people over. And it's not something that is constantly being visually seen. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, the other thing that I have done years ago when my daughter was a little bit younger was I was so overwhelmed with the amount of toys in our living room. And I was that mom the guilt mom, right? And I thought that there had to be toys in every room for my daughter to be happy, and it just isn't true. All of her toys now are in her room or her playroom, and I don't keep anything out in the main living areas. And that's really for my husband and I to have spaces that are easy for us to take care of, but also easy for all of us to be enjoying. They are not just children's places, they are family places for all of us to feel at ease. And that took really taking the toys out of these main living spaces and putting them in their own designated rooms. This next idea I love, and I actually use it all over my home. So there's not one particular area that I can show this working. And that's using small to medium bins to separate out our things, creating a designated home for them, right? Now, the word home always confused me when I was first decluttering because I had so much stuff that there was not a place to put everything. And when I started to declutter, I realized that now I actually could have these bins where I separate things out into categories. In my daughter's playroom, you'll see that there are lots of little bins, and it's really helped all of us to be able to see where those things should be put away, help my daughter put them back in the right basket, and know exactly what you're getting, right? When you pull that basket back out. I think that was a lot of my issue before. I would gather a bunch of things that were not like each other at all and just put them in a basket thinking that was organizing. But really, it was just creating a clutter pile, which did not help me at all. And I wouldn't remember what was in those baskets. And so having smaller baskets around your house, I have one for all of my work stuff. This basket I absolutely adore. It is so helpful for me that all of my work things, like my microphones, are all in one place, and I'm not having to search around my house to find them. I know exactly where these things belong when I'm done with them. And so think about the different areas around your home where you're noticing a lot of clutter. Is it because you have gathered just one large basket and you're trying to put everything in it? That's going to make your life a lot more complicated to find the things when you need them. I hope you guys are finding this helpful. If you are new here, my name is Becky Truda. I have been decluttering for about 6 years now. And if you like to join a fun little community, then subscribe. And of course, throw a heart emoji down below if you're decluttering with us, because we all like to know we're not alone. But the one that goes along with having designated baskets that really divide up your spaces is to have even smaller baskets inside of the larger baskets. So in my bathroom is one of the best examples that I have to show you what I'm talking about. And that is really like my hair bin. I have a smaller basket inside of a larger basket. And it's kind of that same idea that when we go into a space and we are making decisions, whether we think about it or not, we really are making decisions. And we don't want our brain to be fatigued by the end of getting ready for the day. So adding smaller baskets means that not only are those little things not just shaken around inside of those drawers, but it is very, very clear for us what we're looking for, and we are able to zone in, right? We're able to zone into exactly what we're looking for. So I've also done this in my drawers in my bedroom, and I have these little baskets. Yes, it's not perfect in there at all, but I have these little baskets for our underwear and our socks. And that has helped to zone where I can find these items in a much bigger drawer. It can also work in a much bigger basket. All right, I would love to know what your favorite organizational items are that are going into 2026 with you and staying. But the next one to me is a really easy change, and that is to upgrade your hangers and have them match and have them be a nicer hanger. So for me, I have all wooden ones. I know not everyone likes wooden ones, and that's totally fine. But I did make a decision several years ago to get rid of all the mismatch hangers, any hangers that were broken that I had just gotten for free, and those all had to go. And I had to pick a set that I thought really could work for me. So the wooden hangers have worked for me. I have some that have a little bar across that you can hang your pants on that my husband uses. But having a set of hangers that are nice, solid, that to a point can match, means that your closet automatically looks much nicer. And I know a lot of organizational women and men will tell you to organize your clothes by color, and I think that's awesome. But girlfriend doesn't have the mental space to do that a lot, or the time, honestly, just the time to do that a lot. And so what I do is that simplifying your hangers is an automatic way to make that space feel more organized and feel more put together. And it also goes along with leaving that 20%, like I talked about before, leaving that little breathing space and not filling up every single corner just because it's an empty space means that your closet is gonna look better and it's gonna be so much easier to put your clothes back away. So this is one of my favorites and something that I want to say changed my life, but that's probably dramatic, but it feels like it changed my life. And that is to have smaller laundry bins. I have never been somebody who's great at keeping up one of those schedules of all the like to-dos for the day of chores and laundry. One, I almost like rebelled against them, which just sounds silly, right? But that's how my brain works. And two, I would come across things like you need to do your laundry, and then my laundry would be not ready yet to do, or I'd feel like I didn't have enough time to do it. And so instead of doing that, which I have nothing against them, but instead of doing that, if you're struggling, have smaller laundry baskets. One, it gives you the visual cue that it's time to do the laundry a lot faster. I'm doing the laundry usually every other day to every third day, and I don't have to think about it. It doesn't go on a list for me. I literally just look, I see if the laundry baskets are full, and I go do the laundry. It becomes a no-brainer, and it's definitely one of those habits that I always failed at until I realized that if I had a little laundry basket, that I would get that visual cue without having to set any alarms or make big lists. That is one of those easy things that I would definitely try to change over 2026. And let's end on a good yet simple one, and that is to add in some labels to things like our baskets and bins and places that we're having a hard time putting things away, or we're seeing our family not put things away. A label can do amazing things for us. And I don't want you to go and buy those super fancy labels. If you're just starting out or you're struggling with your labeling, I want you to start with a really easy label maker or just tape and a marker. I do have a label maker I got several years ago, but it is so simple. And so it's easily taken off. I can change the labels, which I've done several times in our pantry already, because I realize that sometimes we organize things and then it doesn't work and we reorganize them and we're moving things around. But if you have those beautiful fancy labels, you're going to be annoyed when you inevitably have to change things up. And so a really easy, simple label goes a long way. But it also is that mental, visual cue that a lot of us need in order to remember where these things go, especially until they become a habit. All right, friends, that was quick and fun. And these are all things that I would highly recommend you slowly changing up over this next year, looking for, paying better attention to, because they will make your life a lot easier. And if you want to learn a few more things to make your life easier, then watch one of these videos right here. And I wish you guys all the very best.